Hi everyone, it's Liam here from Rating the Races. So let's have a look at some of the racing at the weekend. Who do I like? I've already done this for Premium and Pro members yesterday. There's a couple of horses that have shortened since then, but I guess that's another Premium and Pro member advantage or feature. So let's go through those that I like for tomorrow. There will also be another video coming for Sunday, but you'll probably get that tomorrow. Right, starting off with Dolos, the Virgin Bet Dolos Handicap Chase. They've actually put Dolos' name in this race. I've highlighted this race. I highlighted this race last year for him, and he won at a nice price for us. I think he's going to take all the beating again. His recent runs behind the likes of Nube Negra, Editor de Gite, Greyana Ting, they were never. He was never going to win those. This is much better, much more his level, and I still think he'll go really, really close. I think he is the favourite, 11-4. There is some money for this red rookie. I'm hoping that Dolos just has too much class for him. I mentioned in the video that Frero Bamboo is the one I'm watching for the Cheltenham Festival with the Grand Annual in mind. Remember, he finished third in the Grand Annual after finishing second in this race last year. I expect him to be given a very similar ride as he was last year in this race. Held up out the back, running on strongly, probably not getting there. But yeah, I think Dolos is definitely the one to beat, and his price reflects that. If there is a bit more money for Red Rookie and Dolos could maybe go out to threes, that would be very nice for those who are watching this video, a few hours' time, that maybe he's a bit bigger price. Moving on, this one wasn't in our Premium Pro member video because I didn't think there would be a price for it, but Outlaw Peter has currently been priced up by William Hill at 6-4. That's too big. I expect he'll go off odds on, to be honest. I certainly expect him to take all the beating, if not win the race, and win the race quite well. He was going well in the Lanzarote hurdle when I think the soft heavy going just caught him out. I think only 4 finished that day. Ignore that run. Go back to his previous runs, including his third quite a few runs ago now to Constitution Hill. That was much better than what he's facing here. I think this is a clever bit of placement from Paul Nicholls for Outlaw Peter, and I fully expect him to win. And I was surprised he was 6-4. I thought he'd be odds on. Moving on to the 3-mile Pertemps qualifier, the Virgin Bet Heroes Handicap Hurdle. It's a qualifier and it's a feature race, so it is worth going for if you think you've got potentially a graded horse. Whilst there'll be a few here that are trying to sort out their handicap marks or just trying to get themselves qualified for the final. One that might be trying to get himself qualified potentially is Party Business, coming back for Ian Williams. Obviously ran a really good race at Cheltenham last year before winning at Aintree. The horse I like actually to win the race is Green Book. Has some really good form. I think they think Green Book is a graded horse. Was a winner of this race last year off just a £4 higher mark. Beat Beauport that day, who's been running in graded races since. I think it was a good race anyway, and I expect Green Book to go very, very close in this. Running these types of 155s, which was winning here and also running really well at Cheltenham, in Albert Bartlett, would see Green Book go very, very close here. Granted, there are a few that have some higher previous R figures, like Stella Magic and Wild About Oscar, but they're a bit out of form. You don't know what they're going to produce. So I'm hoping that Green Book can run a huge race here, and wasn't a bad price. Supposedly you can get 10s at Bet365, but good luck if you've got an account with them. But you can see there's lots of money elsewhere, lots of blue lines, and it wouldn't surprise me if they shortened that soon. Yeah, I really like Green Book there, to be honest. In the Scottish County Hurdle, I will be siding with another Paul Nicholls horse up at Musselburgh, Grieve Tarner. Grieve Tarner finished second behind First Street and in front of Teddy Blue and Yorksea in the Jerry Fielden, the intermediate handicap hurdle at Newbury. It's the handicap hurdle that I say works out best of all. I don't think it has quite yet. Grieve Tarner definitely disappointed next time out, but if you forgive her that run, I think she comes here off a really low handicap mark for what she's going to be. She's only 5. I think there's still a lot more to come from her, and I think Grieve Tarner is the one to beat here. There's a little bit 11-4. I'm happy with 11-4. I think Angus taking 5 off as well means she's running off a mark that she really should be able to win off. So yeah, Grieve Tana for the Scottish County Hurdle for me. We then move on to Leopardstown. There's a couple at Leopardstown that I want to talk about. The first one here is Maxim. Now, I'm going to give away something I'm going to talk about in another video. Maxim, I think, is going for it here. I think he is trying to win it. And I highlighted him when he was 4s. He's now 3s, 11-4 in places. I thought, I was really surprised that I think they nearly had Maximum and Percival Legalois. Let's go for that. Percival Legalois. Nearly joint favourites. But if Maxim reproduces that effort last time, it's 166.1. Maxim wins. And I think it's, I was really surprised that they're running here because he's favourite for the Fred Winter. No, he's not. He's favourite for the Pertemps Final. I wonder if they have another horse for the Pertemps Final. Unfortunately, they lost Eric Bloodaxe either yesterday or the day before. He died. It was just announced very quietly in the Irish updates. Nothing really spoken about. Unfortunately, we've seen a couple of bookmakers actually shorten Eric Bloodaxe today for the Pertemps Final, despite the announcement being made or the update being released. The horse who is very, very interesting for that race, the Pertemps Final, needs to qualify on Sunday, and I'm going to talk about him again in the next video, but that is the Boss's Oscar. He'll be running off, I think he's running off 142, and he's got a £7 claimer on Sunday. When he ran in the final, he ran off 151, I think it was. He went off 100 to 30 favour, and he finished second to Mrs. Milner, who we also highlighted that day. Now, I don't know whether they're going to be trying to win it on Sunday with the Boss's Oscar, but I certainly expect them to be able to qualify, and he could be their ready-made replacement for both Eric Bloodaxe and Maxim, who could win this. Maxim can win this, and they can then have the Boss's Oscar as their main hope for the Pertemps Final. Final one I want to talk about is Fils Dudery. I really like Fils Dudery. I thought it was a perfectly satisfactory effort last time out. I think the 2 mile trip is what he wants. He did try 2.5, and you can see he wasn't as good. Dropping back to 2 miles, and I think he'll be finishing strongly. I like the horse. I think he was actually one I was quite interested in this season if he'd been running in the UK, but he went over to Ireland. I think Gordon Elliott's got him now. It is Gordon Elliott, and I certainly expect a really big run from Fils Dudery in this handicap, which is worth winning. I think they've been careful with what they've been entering Fils Dudery. Now it's the time to win, and I think Fils Dudery is going to take all the beating here. He's a bit bigger price than a couple of others that we've highlighted. 8s, there is 9s supposedly at Ladbroke, so I expect that to go very quickly. Obviously, a Wave of the Sea is going to get really well supported because he's won it for the last 2 years. And yeah, well, he's done nothing since. I'm hoping that Fils Dudery can make our ratings look good and win this race at Leopardstown. So there's 5 now, I think. I think there was only 4, now there's 5. Dolos, Outlaw Peter, Green Book, Grieve Tana, Maxim, and Fils Dudery for me on Saturday. There will be another video for the free members coming for Sunday. That will be released tomorrow. On Saturday for free members, but for premium and pro members you'll be getting that shortly.